escalated to the owners, it was then communicated to me to communicate to you to end your shift, that coverage was coming. So that was a communication directly from the owners to you from them. So essentially, leading from that incident was Zeus.
So the first contact that I had about anything, I'm wondering why Nail even came in. Like, someone could have texted me and said, hey, get Zeus out of the kitchen. That seems like an easy solution. And also, I've never been told about a company policy saying we can't have dogs in the kitchen. We often have dogs in the kitchen. We do our what do they call it, our one-on-ones, our snuggle time in the kitchen.
That's a conversation, I mean, truthfully, that's a conversation between you and Lil, like that piece of it.
So can I see the company policy that says that we can't have dogs in the kitchen?
Again, this is not my business, this is
I'm
Lily and Mark.
being written up for it. I'm being written up for it, and I feel like I'm being held accountable for a policy that doesn't exist.
I think where you're getting confused is if the owners of this business are saying, like if the owners of this business are essentially saying that this is not supposed to happen, then that's what I'm going off of.
But they didn't say anything to me. Lily and Mark have my number. Lily gave me a text me. She said, hey, please get Zeus out of the kitchen. And then the first thing I did was went and got Zeus and put him in the gym. But I'm not sure why Natalie came in and said, she said she was just here to help. And I said, okay, cool. I was in the toy box, and then she went out. I'm not sure what she was doing. I thought she meant that she was there, like she was covering me for the toy box or something. So I was like, oh, do you want to? She said something had to be done in the kitchen. So I said, do you want to stay in here and watch them? I'll go get the kitchen thing. But I misunderstood. She was just there doing, I guess, deep cleaning stuff. And then the next thing, she came in maybe 10 minutes later and said, okay, James is here. So Mark and Lily said you can go. I said, what? I'm scheduled till 12 o'clock.
You're getting paid for the day, so don't worry about it.
I understand that, but what was I sent home for? Just for Zeus being in the kitchen? I mean, if I'm being written up for it, I definitely would like to see the company policy. I don't think it's a company policy.
Listen, it's the owners. This is not corporate. This is not like a big bank business where we have that. If the owners are saying things, that's what it is.
I would have loved to talk to Mark about it, but when I texted her, she said people will talk to you about it later. So it's kind of like she's sending me to you, and you're saying.
No, I'm not sending it to her. Like, I'm the one having the conversation. The only thing I'm saying, if you're looking for, if you're looking for like an actual documentation, that would come from them. If they're saying it's in the company policy, then I'm taking them by the word because they are the owners of this business.
You're the manager. You should don't you have access to the company policies?
I have access to everything Dogtopia, but it doesn't mean that it's everything necessarily for this business. I'm going off what the owners say, Steve. I'm not willy-nilly making decisions.
You wanted me to talk to you. You wanted me to talk to you. I'm sorry. Yeah, you said we would talk later, and when I talked to Lily, she said ask you. But I mean.
Look, you want me to be perfectly honest?
How can I be written up for company policy that's not accessible to me and I've never been made aware of?
That's really not the biggest, to be perfectly frank with you, dude, that's really not the biggest issue here. You having a dog in the kitchen is really not the be-all, end-all for me. Where it really comes to for me is over the last couple of weeks, we've noticed a more erratic spread of you being in the afternoons, missing medications, feedings being missed, signing off on things. See, this is the conversation.
See, that's the thing. I'm being written up for, there's one right.
There's two separate ones.
But there's one right there saying I missed and I signed off. So that's you can hold me accountable for that. But you can't say we noticed in the past couple of weeks that you've been missing medication.
We had a conversation with you, Stephen, me and Ashley, and again, like, you're difficult to get through, and I'll be honest with you. And we were trying to. You are, dude. You deflect, and you start.
I defend when people are saying that there are things that are
happening. I'm not attacking you, though. I want you to understand that. Like, I'm not attacking you. I'm trying to sympathize with you.
I'm not saying you're attacking me. That's a very aggressive word. You're basically offering me. What's it called? Reprimanding me. It's a recommendation. Sorry. You were reprimanding me for things that I can't really say whether or not I did them or didn't do them. Because they were weeks ago and I don't have access to the cameras. I don't think that when I'm being told that I'm missing lunches and things.
We did. We went back on the cameras and we confirmed you did, and that's the issue. We had a conversation with you.
That's great. I don't agree. I don't believe
this is what this is the issue is you're not taking, instead of, I would much rather you take some level of accountability and be like, you know what, I own that, let's be better. But you're not. No, you're not.
She just asked me, she said, did you give the wrong medication to him in the kitchen? I said, oh, I think I might have. I looked at the medications and I said, I apologize.
But you understand that this cannot keep happening, and this is happening frequently.
I don't understand that it keeps happening, but I do understand that it cannot keep happening.
But it keeps happening.
So I'm going to start working with the body cam to work or something, because I'm tired of people telling me that I'm not doing things I'm supposed to be doing, and I am doing things I'm not supposed to be doing.
But you're not. We went back in the camera, you signed for giving a dog
Well,
feed
I
that you
don't
didn't
believe-
give, so you
Cooper.
can't sit here and say that you're meeting expectations when you're clearly not.
I'm just gonna put a plan. I get that you keep saying you went back on the camera and looked. I'm gonna say, I just don't believe it. That's fine.
Okay,
Sorry.
so here's where we are. So I just will cut this conversation because I'm not going down a rabbit hole here. And this is from Mark and Lillian. Mark and Lillian have advised me to tell you that you are on the schedule for the next 2 weeks, and after that, you will not be scheduled. That is from Mark and Lillian. That is where this conversation is right now.
No, that's fine. So I'm being, what's it called? I'm being fired in 2 weeks.
I am telling you, and this is a conversation between me. This was a conversation between me, Mark, Lillian, Ashley. Pretty much a collective conversation where all of us really sat down and are trying to do what's best for the business and also best for you because we care about you. Mark and Lillian care about you, and I care about you, and we all do. We just feel that we can no longer help you because this is becoming more of a trend, and it's now affecting our dogs. We now have multiple missed medications. We have missed multiple
And that's the thing.
medications
I
everywhere.
have like proof. If I'm being,
We have the proof. We went on the video.
I haven't seen the video, and I honestly, I don't agree. I don't agree.
You can disagree as much as you want. You don't have to agree with any of this. I'm just telling you what it is.
So, but could you say officially I am being, in 2 weeks, I'm technically today, like my, what do you call it, discharge date or firing date?
We are giving you, as Dogtopia Berkeley Heights, 2 weeks to find new employment.
Okay.
So after 2 weeks, you will not be scheduled any further with us.
Okay.
We have had conversations with you. Mark and Lillian have had previous conversations. I'm not going back into, I'm just having the ones. We had a conversation with you, me and Ashley, the other day, and we had said about the expectations, and it's, I'm meeting expectation, I'm not anything wrong, and then that night is when this happened. It was that night. So understand, like, we have tried.
Since I've come back, I've had my hours shortened, and I still get out, and the list is still the same. The list is still the same. I've had my hours shortened to, like, I'm in a room till 3 o'clock sometimes, and then I have to get out, and I still have some, it's usually 1:45 to 7:30 that I have to do all that list, plus the deep cleaning. My workload has increased a lot. I feel like I'm being asked to basically move faster than I possibly humanly can to complete tasks that are due. I understand that they're due. I don't leave tasks undone. But to hear that I've been being talked to for weeks now, and that you've been finding things that have been going wrong for weeks. I find things that go wrong all the time.
It's not about anyone else. This is about you.
It's no, but
this is about you and your position. It's not about anyone else.
It is about everyone else.
So
everyone else is not being held to the same level.
So
of
our
accountability as me.
priority, what is our number one priority? Our dog safety.
I understand that actually.
So when a dog is not getting medication, that is not a safe.
And I don't think that's.
When
I
a
don't
dog
think
is
that's
not getting
real.
properly
I
fed,
don't
it's
believe
not a
that it
safe
happened.
protocol.
I don't believe that it happened actually.
Steve.
I pay so much attention to this job. I do nothing else. I don't go
So
out.
you think me in management for 12 years is lying?
I think for
You
some,
think
I
Ashley
think for
management
some
for 10
reason
years
Mark
is
and
lying?
Lillian
You
would
think-
like me to not work here anymore. That is what I think. I can't suppose what the reasoning is, and I'm not asking you to confirm or deny it because I know you can't or wouldn't. Regardless, I'm saying I personally do not recall for the past weeks that, as you've been saying, things have been getting worse, and you've been talking to me more and more. You had a conversation with me 2 days ago. The last time, not 2 days ago, Friday. The last time we were all here together. That's like the conversation that you said, hey, we have to meet up with expectations. And I said, yes, I'll do better. I'll try harder. And then 3 days later on Sunday, 2 days later on Sunday, I was sent home for a company policy infringement that I am not aware of. Nobody ever said you can't have your dog in the office. And as soon as Lillian said in a text message, hey, you can't have Zeus in the office, can you please move him? I moved him to the gym. I don't understand why I was sent home yesterday for my dog being in the office, and then now I'm being told that I have 2 weeks to find new employment.
So when
It is a little excessive, and I don't
Because I'm
understand.
sticking to the facts of the situation, and I'm not trying to get myself in a situation or anyone else. The reality is I'm sticking to the
It's hard to
facts.
stick to the facts of the situation when Mark and Lillian have made a decision based on something that either you know or don't know, and I definitely don't know.
But it's not, but here's where I think this comes from. It is not my place to question Mark and Lillian. They're the owners of this business. If Mark and Lillian tell me to jump, I jump. It is their business. If they tell me to have a conversation, I have a conversation. If they tell me to document, I document. Everything runs through them. I am not willy-nilly making decisions here.
Am I being let go for any sort of misconduct? Is what I want to know. Any sort of misconduct? Because I mean, I'm not insubordinate. I'm listening to your instructions. I'm being told that things are happening weeks after, and I say, okay, I'm sorry if you say that, but I can't really guarantee that they have been.
Dude,
Am I being let go for any kind of misconduct?
if you want to go off of exactly what this is, it's violation of safety rules, violation of company policies. So essentially that, And then the last one really is, not meeting expectations, substandard work when it comes to lead position. You're a lead. Like, I'm not talking, listen, I want you to just listen to me for 5 minutes.
That's a long time.
2 minutes, I know, I have ADHD too. Listen. You're not a coach.
I'm in the rooms most nights. Most days I'm in the room.
I treat you as a lead.
You can't do that when I'm in the room, though.
Doesn't-
You can't.
I treat you as a lead. I look at you as a lead. I look at you as somebody with experience that knows better. I look at you as somebody
Cooper,
that
you
has
just got here.
potential.
You can't look at me like
You think I can't?
No, I'm sorry.
You think I can't you honestly think
I'm certain that you can. But
You're
listen,
certain?
what I want to know is, am I being let go for any type of misconduct? That's all I
That
want
is
to know.
misconduct.
That's misconduct?
It's violated. What kind of misconduct in what
I
regards?
wasn't made
I'm
aware.
using.
I wasn't made aware of the policy. I still haven't seen the policy. You haven't shown me the policy that you're saying I'm in violation of. But that's not misconduct. That's not misconduct.
But I think what
I
you're
mean-
grazing over is you're kind of circling on the one thing.
I'm
the big
circling on the
thing.
reason why I'm being let go because
The reason-
I plan on filing for unemployment, and the only reason in New Jersey that you will not be given unemployment is misconduct. This policy that you're telling me about, I was never told about. So I'm sorry, the first infraction, not misconduct. And
This
you
is not
made
your first infraction. This is we did a reset of expectations, but I
Yes,
don't.
I'm sorry, it's the first infraction. You're
It's
writing
the
me up.
first.
You're writing me up for the first time. It's the first infraction.
With me and you, yes.
No, I'm sorry. This
I
is
don't-
not. I was not written up previously by anybody else either. And I'm sorry if I'm being let go. I'm going to argue that I'm not guilty of misconduct. You can't just say that
No
someone.
one is saying that you're abusing dogs or doing anything.
Oh no, but I'm not saying I'm abusing dogs. I'm talking about being let go from this job for misconduct. That's specifically what I'm talking about. You want to talk about the facts? That's what I'm talking about. I was not guilty of misconduct at any point while I was here. So, what was the misconduct? A policy that I wasn't made aware of.
Misconduct, not feeding dogs medication, signing off for feeding dogs that you didn't
And
feed,
that's not misconduct.
missing medications,
That's not misconduct. I didn't do
not
that.
listening to
I did-
management when we're telling you to leave.
I did. Excuse me, but I need my. Lillian was the last one to do my
Lily
schedule.
and Mark are the owners. I'm
Exactly.
the managers, but you don't listen to us.
They
You don't listen
they
to us.
override you, and Lillian.
Exactly. That's my
Lily-
point. You don't listen
Please
to
don't,
us.
please don't interrupt me.
Don't listen to us.
Lillian was the last one to update my schedule that day. For that day, she literally updated it that morning.
Because me and her talked and I told her to.
So I messaged her and I said, hey, she had just
start
she
sending
just
them in.
updated it. And for all I know, Natalie came in and said something that wasn't true. So I was confirming that what Natalie had said was true. And I messaged Lillian and I was waiting to hear from Lillian. Because she's, as far as I know, she's the one that made my schedule, and so she wanted me here then to then. Once she said, yes, please go, he has the, I wasn't questioning your authority. I understand you're the manager. I don't know why she said he has the authority. That is,
Because I told you, because it became a thing. Like, it should have been, like, understand, like, I was trying to be quiet. I was not trying to create
I-
a scene. I was not
you
trying
were
to do
telling-
anything.
you
I
were
just
telling-
wanted you to leave safely and go home and we would have a conversation.
I always
That's
leave
all
safely.
I wanted, Steve.
I
I didn't want this to become a scene. You made it a scene for some reason.
I didn't make it a scene.
You did.
I asked my boss, because I understood you're the
I
manager.
was trying to be
Her
quiet
and
about
Mark are my
this,
bosses,
man.
and she had just sent in that morning my schedule. If she wanted me to leave at a certain time, I figured she would have cut it a certain amount of
So
time.
I am gonna cut you off. So Mark and Lillian are the owners of this facility, right? They hired Cooper to basically
Be their
delegate the
liaison.
I understand that. What
No,
I
please
want-
don't let
what I
me
want to
finish.
talk about is why
Stephen,
I'm being let go
respectfully,
for misconduct.
respectfully.
Why
I
am
have the
Please let me speak.
why am I being let go for misconduct, Ashley?
Please let me speak.
We
Now
asked
you
me
cut
that
me
question
off.
after.
Okay.
I mean, I was
So
me
the
and
reason
first
that
you cut us
Cooper was
off, so-
hired, correct? The reason that he was hired is so that he delegates what Mark and Lillian, our owners, can do, right? What they need to do, what they need to say, right? That is why he
I
was hired.
understand. To
So
save
when
my
he had
ability.
said, hey, Stephen, go home, you shouldn't have given also Nayeli, who's also your equal, whatever infractions that you had, right? So
I didn't give Natalie
when it
infractions.
also, I'm
I'm not gonna get into feelings
I'm
and
also
stuff.
just
so-
gonna-
I know, I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Is
Giving Natalie
when we
infractions.
Stephen.
You just said that. I'm asking you to clarify
I'm just
something you
going.
just said.
We are. So when, right, the conversation was, hey, that we've been having conversations with you for weeks, right? We've had conversations about you leaving the dogs with harnesses and collars on overnight, them not getting their equipment, which I did
That,
have a
no,
conversation.
we haven't. No,
There
we
was
have
4
not.
dogs that
Harness
came in
and
the other
collars
day
on.
that had harnesses.
That was like months ago, actually. That was
It
months
was
ago.
Stephen,
it
that
was
was-
a day ago, right?
That was months ago. The harness
No, it
and
was a
collars
day
on
ago.
overnight.
It was a day
With
ago.
Sophie, who just boarded. The
I
last
did-
time she just boarded.
I
So
haven't taken care of Sophie since she boarded.
Yeah,
What are
stick
you
to the
talking
facts.
about?
Stick to the facts.
point being though is we've had multiple conversations with you.
I
And we
disagree.
have seen unfortunately a decline and there's been no rise.
And I understand you're saying that, but I'd like for you to address the idea that I'm being let go for misconduct.
Don't.
A policy that I'm not being made aware of.
Don't.
Okay, but I've not been made aware of the policy. I've never seen it, and you won't show it to me now. And that I made a mistake by missing a medication. I'm sorry, I made a mistake.
You made a mistake. You didn't medicate a dog.
I can't even guarantee that I can't even guarantee that I didn't.
Green mock-up.
I can't even guarantee that I didn't. I'm trusting your word that I'm not being let go for ridiculous reasons. Your word doesn't seem as reliable to me.
Okay. Then,
So
then,
I don't.
alright.
So I like to not. I say that no, I didn't miss that dog's medication.
Okay. You can disagree with me.
It seems like you're laying down damage with my credibility, and that's fine.
That's not what I'm trying to do.
I know.
I-
I'm not saying you're trying to. I'm saying you are doing it.
Okay, you could feel that way. The reality is, like, no matter how you feel, the reality is none of this
It's
stuff
not
is.
how I feel. It's how I think.
Okay, then how do you think? None of this is easy for me, and I sympathize with you because I understand you probably a lot better than you think. It's just have to remain a certain level of professionalism when I'm here. Meaning, I want to. You can, dude. Seriously, the reality is, I'm having the conversation with you per Mark and Lillian. This is the directive. This is where we are, and nothing's going to change that.
But if Mark and Lillian are saying I'm guilty of misconduct, then they won't say what misconduct.
How is this not so?
It's a policy. I'm telling you how it's not.
So missing,
misconduct.
so not medicating a
I
dog.
did.
Not
I didn't do that.
that's
I
not
didn't do that.
misconduct.
I didn't do it.
I have the
I
video.
didn't. I didn't. Okay, I'm sorry, but show me what it says on paper that I had to medicate the dog. No.
Okay.
Exactly.
You can disagree. You can
I do
go to your
disagree,
own.
yeah.
Okay, that's
So,
fine. I'm not going to argue with
I'm
you.
explaining to you how it's not misconduct.
But I'm not going to argue with you, and you're not going to win this argument.
I'm just
okay?
explaining to you how it's not misconduct. I did not. I don't agree that I missed the medication. I don't agree with that. So that's one thing that you can't say is misconduct. And also making a mistake is not misconduct. Forgetting to do something or accidentally giving the wrong thing.
You're acting
So-
like this is the first time you made a mistake, but yet we've been working
I'm
with
not
you
acting
for
like
how
that at all.
long?
I'm explaining to you,
You-
why.
no,
I'm
that's how
explaining
you're
to you why
coming
it's not
across.
misconduct. I'm not acting like anything. And then for me to violate a company policy that I wasn't shown, never told about, and still have not seen, and not entirely sure if it even is a company policy, isn't misconduct.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. That's all I need. Can I get it working?